last Monday of the month. Yep, so just acknowledging it's news across Africa, and we'll do this until 8 o'clock starting now. 8 o'clock, we'll look at newspaper headlines across Nigeria, and that will take us until 9. At 9, news on the hour would come your way. Right after that, it'll be Citizen Sports, and it'll be followed right on the heels by Insight with Lawrence Omoite. I want to encourage you to stay with us here on Citizen FM 93.7. So let's begin. Interesting events over the course of the weekend. That's why I like Mondays. Mondays just come with plenty of gist to talk about. But maybe I want to begin with this story that is not so exciting. It's from Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah. So remember how that the country was talking about how that they wanted to, remember the finance bill protest of June 2024, and then there was a street protest, just marking what happened. And of course, they also took advantage of the fact that they wanted to make a social statement about police brutality in Kenya. Well, that didn't go as planned because there were assurances from the police, from the public that it was going to be, hitch-free, it was going to be non-violent protest, but turns out that something went wrong. It was not non-violent. It was violent. People died. Anyway, there's an update on the story. There was this hawker who was shot at very close range by police. The update is that street hawker has been declared brain dead. He was shot at close range by a police officer during a protest that has been declared something that was just out of what they expected to happen in Kenya during the time. Doctors at Kenyatta National Hospital revealed to Kariku's family on Sunday that his brainstem is no longer functioning. His family, the spokesperson representing his family, said, "We received a call from the hospital at 12:47 a.m. saying that they needed to have a brief with us, and we've been told what is happening. The reality of things is that Boniface Kariki is declared brain dead. The hospital bill is now higher than 3 million Kenyan shillings. We're praying and hoping for the well wishes because when someone is declared brain dead, we know what it means. So the brainstem of Boniface Kariki is not working any longer." That's the very sad story. This person, what's more mind-blowing is the fact that this person was not even amongst the protesters. The person was just hawking. He was just selling. He was 22 years old. I mean, he is 22 years old. He's not dead yet. So he's only 22 years old. And because of the crowd that would be at the venue of the protest, he decided to take advantage and go market his wares. He was just selling face masks. And then the protest just turned chaotic and police shot at him at close range. Thankfully, the person didn't die on the spot. He was just holding a packet of face masks and is believed to have been caught up in a confrontation with two officers in Nairobi. It was very sad. Anyway, that's the update right now. That's the update. So, an update from Sudan. You remember that I wanted to know that some sanctions were pronounced by the U.S. government. They said there were restrictions on U.S. exports. It was going to include arms sales and financial assistance to Sudan that would stay in place for at least a year. Only humanitarian assistance will not be affected by these sanctions. So, here's what's up. Sudan's army leader, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and his former deputy and RSF chief, Mohammed Dagalo, are already sanctioned by the U.S. The latest embargo was prompted by allegations of chemical weapons used by Sudan's military in operations against RSF fighters. Lawrence just left the studio and said he came solely to distract me. Maybe a minute of of success there, but let's move on. I really thought it was something different, but hey, let's move on. South Africa is in the news. ANC party, a partner, they are quitting key government initiative as there is a new spat hitting coalition in the country. So the withdrawal from the National Dialogue by DA is Direct Democratic Alliance, is the latest instability that the South African coalition government is experiencing at this time, and this is just the first anniversary of the whole coalition government. So the news is that tensions started when the President Ramaphosa fired a deputy minister from DA over unauthorized travel. The former deputy minister served for trade, and he made a trip to the U.S. without approval from the presidency. And that, according to the government, contravened rules governing ministers. So, as he was fired, the party, Democratic Alliance, responded by asking the president, Ramaphosa, to also fire the DA's call. That's a call to fire the ANC ministers that are facing allegations as threats and ultimatums that would not bother the president. You see that? So, following last year's general elections, Ramaphosa's ANC lost its parliamentary majority for the first time in 3 decades. So, it was forced to team up with the DA to form a governing coalition. But as it seems, or as it looks right now, that doesn't look like it's a huge success. The two parties have maintained sharp ideological differences, and now, since it's looking like, because you belong to the ANC, you cannot fire your people, but because we are of the DA, you can fire and unfire. We're not interested in this union anymore. So over the past year, there have been clashes over things like budget, policies to empower. Is also an success of that National Dialogue Initiative is what is on the scale. And people are measuring and saying, has this really been successful? As, there have been calls, or there seems like a really huge divide between DAs and ANC members. But hey, once there are more updates, we're going to let you know. If or not, the president is going to listen to DA's call and say, these people who are facing corruption charges, please step aside for a minute until, until investigations are over. We're bringing you up to speed. Or if he's going to ignore it totally, as he has already stated, because he's said it point blank, that these calls by